I want to talk to you a little bit about how to find a job. Where do you find a job? Let's take a look at this chart that I put together, okay? This is based on some different articles and research I've done. Most jobs, believe it or not, are not listed on job sites. About 70 to 80% of jobs are never posted on any job site anywhere. They're filled either internally or through some kind of networking or connections. So only about 20 to 30% of the jobs are ever listed on a job site. Okay. On the other side of the chart, we have people who are looking for jobs. Well, approximately 70 to 80% of people only ever look on job boards for a job, which means all these people are competing for these few little jobs right here. Now we have the people who don't just use job sites, and they're competing for all these other jobs, this 80 to 70 to 80%. What you want to do is you want to be competing for all the jobs. You want to look on the job sites. You want to use LinkedIn. You want to use Indeed. You want to use Hudson Valley HelpWanted.com or wherever you are, the HelpWanted.com, the regional sites. But you also need to tap into these jobs that don't get listed. How do we do that? Well, we do that through networking. Okay. Now, some obvious ways to network: join the Chamber of Commerce, go to Mixers. Though that's an easy way. Join a professional organization for whatever industry you're in. LinkedIn is a good way to network online. You can join groups on LinkedIn and have discussions about topics in your content area, in your professional area. Another sort of magic trick that you can use if you're a college student or a graduating college student is called the informational interview. And what it is, it's a reverse interview. Instead of you being interviewed for a job, you interview someone in your field, but you don't do it to get a job. So the way it works, you contact one of your professors or somebody you know who's in the field. You ask them to refer you to somebody who's in that field. So let's just take accounting, for example. You ask one of your accounting professors, do you know anyone who's out there as an actual accountant in an accounting firm or independent that you could introduce me to? I want to sit down with them for 15 minutes and just pick their brain about what it's like to be in that field. Okay? Then you get the introduction from the person you know. You set up the meeting. You go and you ask intelligent questions about what it's like to really work in that field. How much education do I really need? When you hire somebody, what are you really looking for? What's the most important thing? Is it education? Is it experience? Should I do an internship? Will that really reflect well? Will that influence someone to give me a job? You're not interviewing for a job. All you're doing is asking them what it's like to work in their field. You take about 15 minutes of their time. Then when you're done, you thank them for their time. You never mention, asking about, do you have any openings or can I get an internship with you? The whole point is that it's an informational interview. You're interviewing to get information. At the end of that informational interview, if you're really savvy, what you do is you ask that person, I thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate your insights. Is there anyone that you know in the field that you could introduce me to so I could do this same thing and maybe get a different opinion, different insights? And that person will likely refer you to some other professional that they know. Now you go and you meet with somebody else. The whole point of this is you're making connections in your field. You're networking. And if you impress one of these people, it's very, very likely that they will offer you either an interview, a job, or maybe an internship. So that is a really powerful tool, and you can Google it if you want, informational interview. It takes a lot of guts. Most people don't have the guts to do it. Most people are too scared. And that's why it really works, because it sets you apart. Okay? So get out there, network, meet people, introduce yourself. The other advice I give you is go to one of those cheap print websites where they do business cards for $10 or $20. Get some business cards printed up with your name, your contact information, and whatever field you're in. That way, when you go out and network, you have something to hand out. It doesn't matter that you're not working in your field. Okay, you need to start thinking about yourself as a professional in your field that you just who doesn't quite have a job yet or doesn't have the exact position they want. So when you introduce yourself at a networking event, make sure you give yourself credit for being the professional that you want to be. Hope this helped.